YouTube, how's everybody doing? It is Davey, and welcome to the Gamer Chat podcast. With me, as always, is Joe. Joe, how are you getting on, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm just a little bit down from. It just feels like we're in a bit of a negativity loop in the gaming news world at the moment. To top it all off, I've had a bad time at the barbers, shall we say? In terms of like, not only have I had not the best haircut, I don't think, but I also was. I was made to feel insecure by my little nephew, who basically said that my hair's going really grey and I look really old. And so I dyed my hair, but it's gone way too dark. It looks like really black.
That's what it is. That's what it is. That looks different. I just thought it was the shadows. I just thought it was the shadows.
Not, mate. Honestly, it's really embarrassing. People are just like, you look like a lesbian goth.
Oh,
only like lesbians or goths or both, but like it's not the look I'm going for. That's all.
Oh no, it could be fine. You could be missing a gap in the middle of your mouth like me, but yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean,
it doesn't even look that bad.
It is starting to fade a little bit, but yeah,
Doesn't look that bad. Bad. But yeah,
I mean, more disappointment upon disappointment for me.
All right. If it makes you feel any better, it's even more disappointing for me after yesterday's shit show that was the World Cup, and in the All Ireland semi-finals.
You're a Brazil fan now as well. I forgot about that. Yeah,
I'm not a Brazil fan. I am Brazilian. There's a difference. All right. I can consider myself Brazilian now. All right. I can consider that.
Not Irish.
Yeah. What?
Not Irish.
Both. Dual citizenship. How about that?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, unfortunately, got knocked out by Norway 2-1, or not? 2-1. Haaland, just a freak of nature, isn't he? I said it to Mrs. It's like all you have to do to win is not let Haaland on the ball. And to be fair, the guy literally had 2 touches and he scored, and that was like in the second half. So
that's Erling Haaland all over there, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
you only need 2 touches throughout an entire game and he'll score 2 goals.
Yeah, no, but to be fair, it was in Brazil. Brazil could have won it. The Endrick one-on-one should have went in. The penalty, Bruno Guimaraes shouldn't be taking it. And also we had a Neymar penalty. I hate Neymar. So
I hate Neymar as well.
Seeing him being so dramatic at the end, like it's like his career was like his downfall was his own from drugs and alcohol nonstop. So.
He's an excellent child, mate.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like most of the best footballers have some attitude to them, but he actually behaves like a child.
But
he said, as an England fan and for watching an interesting game, I would rather have played Brazil. I think it would have been a better game. I think we're going to find it tougher against the Norwegians in terms of creating chances than against the Brazilians. However, I think the Brazilians are more likely to score more goals against us.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about that. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy because this time, the next World Cup, like 8 of the players that play for Brazil have retired or will no longer play international football. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And all I'm saying is, João Pedro should have been at the World Cup. Ancelotti decided to choose Neymar just because he wanted a sending off story. That is it. But you got on pretty lucky today for Americans, last night for us, early mornings, shall I say?
Yeah, we
3-2.
Pretty lucky. We don't get me wrong, like I think we deserved to win. But we did play very well. We played better than we played in the last game, which admittedly wasn't hard. But we played well enough that I thought this will be good. It was always going to be a tough fixture for England, I think, because the altitude, the stadium, their record and stuff. Not because Mexico, particularly good side, but they are heavy. They do have all the other things that go for them up there. There's a reason they've got the record they do. In that stadium, and fair enough, we've gotten through. I did think it might be a bit of a banana skin for England, but we'll see. We've now got to face Norway, which I think will be a very tricky thing. as well, but for different reasons.
And later on, we have Portugal, Spain, which is going to be exciting.
That will be a good game.
I cannot wait to watch that later. I have my pizza ready. I'll have my pizza ready, have my Pepsi Max ready, and I'll sit down and watch that. I can't wait. But I think it's on at 8. I think. I'm pretty sure it's on at 8, but So World Cup pictures.
I'll tell you something else while you're researching the time. That
8 o'clock.
So really broke me down today. Is that I had a pack of chicken in the fridge. Still got a couple of days left on it, but I was just like taking it out. I was going to have some for dinner tonight, and I was going to divide the other bits up, stick them in the freezer, so that I could go back to them like in a couple of days' time and stuff. Also, it would go stretch beyond its shelf date.
The smart way.
Yeah. Pack of chicken from that shop, which I've opened it up straight away. The worst smell ever, and it's off.
Yeah, no. At the second I smell something is off, no, I just leave it.
You know, like when you open a box of like ham sometimes, and it kind of smells a bit farty though, and that you get past that, but it goes away quite quickly. With this chicken, like Rhiannon was just like in the other room, and she was like, "Have you farted?" I was like, "No." She was like, "Is that the chicken?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Throw it away." I was like, I really didn't want to, but like, I'm gonna have to complain to the retailer because it's the second pack. It's the second time it's happened. Like. From them of like chicken just that's been sat in the fridge. It's been within day. I've opened it and yeah. Anyway, sorry everyone. We'll get into the games now.
and what it means with us, what we've been playing, and I'm not sure if you've updated yours or not, but I played a lot of games this last week, but the problem is none of them vibed with me, so I didn't put them in. I just turned on the game to see if it stuck with me, and after like 45 minutes to an hour, I just turned it back off because I'm just not feeling it. So I'll just name some of the games. Zombie, Psychonauts 2, tried to play some Infamous. There's a few of those type of games, just didn't play. I tried to, but just couldn't get into it. Re-downloaded Assassin's Creed Shadows, played it for 5 minutes, like, yeah, no, this is still... not it. So I've just been playing a lot of Destiny. A lot of Destiny. I've been trying to solo some dungeons.
I said they call them classics for a reason.
Yeah, but I just couldn't get into it. I wasn't in the right mindset. So I was just like, fuck. But one game I did purchase. I did purchase one game today. Not today, but like a few days ago, and that was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which you shall see over here from the CEX. £8. £8 that cost me today. And if you watched my latest YouTube video, you know what happened if it was digital. So, but what have you been playing?
So I've been playing this game called Just Crow Things.
Just Crow Things?
Yeah. I've been playing it on Steam. I'll send you a link, mate, so you can have a little look.
Oh, this looks cool.
Have you ever played Little Kitty Big City?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so I played that when it came out of Game Pass. I think I just like went and like played it and got all the achievements and stuff like that. But it was a good game. I really liked it. So it kind of reminds me of that. It's like you do at Slack or like similar to the other Goose Game-ish. It's funny. Like
I just one of the first images when you go to the images of it, it's one of the things like a bird just shitting on a guy running away.
Yeah. You basically have to go and crap on people to get them to do stuff. And like
that's amazing.
Yeah. It's really funny. It's a great game, to be honest with you. I really like it. It's got loads of cool, interesting facts about crows in the loading screen. So if you like finding out some cool shit about crows, then definitely check it out. Yeah, I've played a couple of hours of it so far with the missus. I'm going to go back to this game because it's a lot of fun. But I did play a tiny bit more Atomfall since we last spoke. I think I played some after we podcasted. I haven't actually gone back to that this week yet. Been pretty busy outside of this with work, so I've really only had enough time to play a little bit of casual games like this Just Crow Things game. So yeah. That being said, there's a game coming out which I want to get really soon that I want to give a shout out to, which I messaged you about, and it is Varen's Call.
Varen's Call, yeah. I looked at the trailer there a while ago. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, Varen's Call. So it's Forsaken Realms, Varen's Call. It's on Steam. It's by Titan Rock, and it's
Shadow Titans Rock.
It's voice acted. It's kind of like a Dark Souls sort of crossed with Oblivion, really. It's a narrative-driven fantasy action RPG, and the war-torn city of Varin stands before you on the brink of collapse and in desperate need of aid. As a mercenary in search of your next opportunity, will you answer Varin's call? But yeah, it looks good. It looks a lot of fun. It's indie, but I have a funny feeling. I've been following this game for many years now, since I think like 2022, and I feel like it's got a lot of cool mechanics like magic and stuff like that, and it's pretty well written. I'm hoping, because based on what I've been reading in the Discord community there. So yeah, check it out, guys. It comes out
absolutely
at the end of this month, 27th.
Yeah. Also, just a quick another football-related thing. Did you see what happened to Henderson's wrist?
Yeah, mate, it looks so painful. It looks so painful. So he falls over. He tries to jump over an advertising board, sort of like falls, and his wrist just goes. Like,
yeah, it literally folds like a Swiss Army knife. Like,
honestly, man, I was like, oh. Well, I was in a morning meeting, and I was like, this morning with like my business partners, and I just saw, and they were chatting away, and it just sort of came up on X, and I was there like, oh, they were like, what did you? They were like, sounds like you pooed yourself. I was like, I'll tell you what, if I was Jordan Henderson, I would have done.
Yeah, no, the fact that like the match is over and he had to get stretchered off like Oxford Master because he snapped his arm, and in bear in mind he got a yellow card and didn't even play, and now with the rest of this World Cup is over. So sorry, that just came into my mind there. And I was supposed to bring it up during the England part, but I completely forgot about it, but just popped in there. But anyway, yeah, check out that game. It looks fantastic. I'm actually kind of low-key excited for it.
Yeah, me too. I'm hoping it's going to be one of the sort of like out there indie games that just sort of comes out of nowhere and does really well.
Yeah. Anything else you've been playing? No?
Haven't really been playing much else, I'm afraid.
All right, then. Shall we get into the weekly news that we have? Because it is... I know that last week that we said we kind of hope that there's a bit more gaming news. But fuck me.
This is not the gaming news we'd hoped for.
It's not. But it's just the fact that so much of it... It's like when you like spam click an order and then like it freezes and then like it just piles up all of a sudden. And all right, chill. But yeah, let's get into we're going to do this in a different type of segment this week. We're going to do Nintendo, and then we're going to talk about the news that broke today. It's the reason why Joe and I actually decided to record later in the day on Monday, because we knew Xbox news was coming. We just didn't know when. So, and then we're going to end off with some PlayStation rants on what they are doing as well. So yeah, let's talk about the first thing up on our list there, where we talk about Elder Scrolls. I was about to say Elder Scrolls 6. God, I wish. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered is coming to Nintendo Switch August 11th. We got a nice little trailer for it too. Joe sent it my way when it got announced. Exciting.
Over a week ago. Was it? It must have been a week ago.
I think it was like it was just around that time. Yeah. It's I'm very curious to see how well it actually performs on the Switch 2.
I don't think it'll have too much of an issue.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm gonna come out here and say this now. Of the consoles, or and I'm including Steam Deck in that, I reckon it's going to run the best on Switch 2. You heard it here first.
Wow. It's because it's notoriously bad on PlayStation, so that's
yeah. It's not great on Xbox as well. I don't think. To be fair, I streamed it on Xbox. So that's not really a fair comparison.
No.
And obviously, it'll perform best on PC if you have a sick rig. But yeah, so out of Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and Steam Deck, I think it plays best on Nintendo. Plays best in terms of performance-wise, right? Not like visuals and everything like that. Mm-hmm. I think it's gonna play best on Switch. You heard it here first. Let's find out.
Yeah,
Digital Boundary. Come on, I need to do me a solid here and do the side by sides.
All right, let's get on to some other news now regarding Nintendo, where Nash Weedle claims a revised version of the Zelda Twilight Princess Wii U port is coming over to Switch. Something that I really hope, because I'm sick to death of getting my hopes up every single direct, and I don't see anything. Like we got the Ocarina remake, obviously, but Nash Weedle is a basically a leaker information guy, like Nate the Hate, something like that, and he kind of gets, he's kind of like a 60-40, maybe 70-30 type of guy when it comes to accuracy. So yeah. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but that's just, again, rumor speculation that Twilight Princess, if it is, I'll be getting it day one. Absolutely. It is, bar the two new Zelda games, it is the only Zelda game I ever played, bar those two. So, you know.
Really?
Yeah. I keep telling myself I need to play my Switch, but I'm just like, Destiny has got me by the gonads, you know. So that just takes me away from anything else. That shows you my love for that Bungie bastards. Anyway, speaking of Nintendo, Mario Kart World has a new update. Finally, we're getting an update for Mario Kart World. Some new maps, some new races. No DLC. Very surprisingly, I thought this would be that we get more information later in the year, but there's just a new trailer. I guess it's free. I didn't see anything about no one discussing anything about a paywall, so that's something. Have you played this Mario Kart?
I have, yeah, I've got it. I'm not massively
a fan.
Yeah.
Are you in the same boat as me, where I prefer Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's racing to this?
Mate, I think Mario Kart Racing peaked at Double Dash.
Double Dash, okay.
Yeah, I do. I don't get me wrong. Like, I like Mario Kart and always have fun playing it, but for me, it's not like a system seller. You launch with a Zelda Breath of the Wild day one purchase, and you launch with a Mario Kart. The only reason I bought the Switch is because I just saw what was going on with the pricing of hardware. I was like, it's not coming down anytime soon. Let's just buy a Switch now, because then they're only going to go up Switch 2 now, because they're only going to go up in price. And it came with Mario Kart World.
So you got it cheaper as well then. The game that costs €80. Currently the only €80 game until GTA releases, which will also be an €80 game. So that's going to be interesting. This one's hilarious. The next bit of information. Metroid Ravenous. Would you say Ravenous or would you say Ravenous? Because, you know, it's like potato tomato, you know, when it comes to appears on a Brazilian rating board through a commissioning thing. And that is the most hilarious thing ever, how this game is getting leaked through Brazil. Yet again, thank you, Brazil, for leaking so much information. For me, I love it. From the Xbox clouds, from the Xbox Series Elite controller to now Metroid. This is reported to possibly be a 2D Metroidvania game. I'm very excited if it is. That's all I'll say. Dread is by one of my favorite Metroid Vanias, as well as being Metroid, obviously, but you know what I mean. So that is something. Are you do you have any interest in the 2D Metroid games? No.
I'm not massive on them, no, to be fair. I'm not massive on Metroidvania style games at all. And I'm going to put this out here, and it is the truth. I'm just not good enough, to be fair. They're notoriously difficult. That's
me with the Mega Man games. I just can't. I don't know what it is. They're supposed to be simple games. I can't play Mega Man games. I own all the collections, and I can't do it. I just can't. It fucking pisses me off so much. But
yeah. No, honestly, I'm just not good enough for them. I love looking at them. I like watching them.
Are we washed?
Someone else who can play, I really like watching it. I'm like, bloody hell, that was good. I'm just not good.
But don't worry, I will be picking up.
I used to, like Sonic. Remember old school Mario, like the 2D side-scrolling one.
Oh yeah, I mean, did you play Mario Wonder? That 2D one that came out like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
I'm a bit basic when it comes to games like that. I don't have the reactions that I used to have for for these types of games. I'm just, unfortunately I'm not good enough. I like watching them, I do, and I appreciate that often they're extremely pretty games, but yeah, I can't buy them because I'm not very good at them.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like, I'm hoping that when Castlevania Belmont Scourge comes out later this year, I will hopefully be not washed and I'll be able to play it and not mess up. But yeah, there's one last bit of information that released today with Nintendo. Starting with the original Nintendo Switch family of devices will be discontinued in Europe as of March 2027, as well as something with the newer Switch model getting rechangeable batteries. So like, so we're getting basically a different model of the Switch, which has going to be easier to change the battery if there's ever a problem with the battery. So, just kind of hoping for some OLED news, but no Switch OLED anytime soon. From the looks of it.
Yeah. I've been hearing rumblings about that actually, but I'm not sure where. If it's like the online, just reading it on X and other socials, or if it's like I actually heard it from someone in gaming. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think it's the former rather than the latter, if I'm honest with you. So.
Yeah, no. Oh well. I'm not gonna any hope it comes at some point, but yeah, that is the Nintendo news of the week. Oh boy, I hope you're wearing a seatbelt, everyone. Strap right in, because we are about to talk about Xbox. The big news that dropped today. And it's and I said it to Joe at the start of before we even started recording. I know what I'm about to say sounds stupid. It could have been worse. For many reasons. Yes, a lot of people have lost their jobs. That sucks.
A lot of people, 3,200 people throughout the financial year, with 1,600 of immediate effect.
Yeah, and it's a shame, but at least there was no studio closures. And I know that sounds stupid, but they get to live. You know, like I'd rather this happen, and these studios, or as opposed to everyone's gone, the studios no longer exist. Xbox keeps IP.
Closure is worst case. Yeah, I agree. Because not only do all the people lose a job, but like often those IPs go dead or dormant. Like
absolutely.
But yeah, so yeah, no, there was a big thing and it's new on the news on the Xbox Wire, news.xbox.com.
Will we? Sorry for cutting out. Will we actually read out the Asha Sharma? Yeah. Do you want to read? No, not long at all.
Okay. Yeah,
when you sent it to me, I was like, did you ever see those things? Like, oh, muito texto, bro, muito texto. Give me a few minutes to get up and read this. I was like that.
I think there are people who have reshared it on X who have put some bullet points, which is pretty useful. But I'll read out the whole thing, and we can do some discussions on it. But it says, so it goes, team, we're beginning the most significant restructure in Xbox history. After careful consideration, I've made the difficult decision to reduce our team by approximately 3,200 throughout financial year 27. This will include approximately 1,600 role eliminations today. And in addition, 4 studios will leave Xbox to new management. So obviously that's the bit where it's not they're not getting closed down. It's just they're leaving. They're not going to be part of Microsoft anymore. Anyway, I recognise that a long restructuring creates additional challenges. Unfortunately, it is not possible to make all the necessary changes in a single day, and I wanted to be direct about the scale. I know this is painful. These changes will directly affect people who have poured their creativity into building Xbox. Many joined us through acquisitions, while others were recruited here or sought us out because they loved this industry and loved Xbox. Today's decisions do not reflect their talent or dedication. Our business today is not healthy. We are operating at margins that are 3 to 10 times lower than comparable platform and publishing businesses. We entered Gen 9 with a smaller install base and a higher cost structure. To grow, we bet on Game Pass, multi-platform, and a broader portfolio of content. I'm not sure, by the way, I agree fully with that. Multi-platform only started into like a couple of years or 2 or 3 years into the gen, didn't it? Like once the Activision Blizzard deal was like,
yeah, it was after ABK. They stood like that's when.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd go out there on a limb and say the fact that they went multi-platform accelerated their decline. Anyway, let's move on. And a broader portfolio of content. While those businesses have created meaningful value, they did not grow at the pace we expected. As that happened, our core business weakened and we added more teams, more investment and more time, hoping for a better outcome. And now the industry is facing the most severe hardware crisis in history. We must reset Xbox. First, we will reset our content portfolio. Since 2018, we have aggressively expanded our studio portfolio, while the number of games created each month across the industry now outpaces the last 10 years combined. We now find ourselves competing not only with the largest publishers, but also with smaller independent studios. It is neither possible nor desirable, nor desirable to own every great independent studio. We have also learned that we are not the best home for every type of studio. In a typical year, we lost 64 cents for every dollar we invested. That's fucking mental, by the way.
Yeah.
64 cents lost for every dollar we invested. As we reset Xbox, we will help independent creators succeed by providing open development tools and audiences to realize their vision. So that basically means that they're going to support indie devs with good tools for the Xbox platform, and they're basically going to try and give them as many people to play the games and buy the games as possible. Anyway, Compulsion Games and Double Fine Productions will return. That's my take, by the way. Compulsion Games and Double Fine Productions will return to management and transition to independent studios with their IP, catalogue, and runway for their next games. Ninja Theory and Undead Labs have entered terms to join new ownership with funding to complete and grow Senua and State of Decay 3. In France, Arcane's management is beginning required consultation with its Works Council to review potential strategic options. Can I just say that Arcane in France have been critical of Microsoft from day one? I remember thinking these guys need to be careful the amount they're like talking smack about the people who own them. And correct me if I'm wrong, but they've not released anything since Deathloop.
Yeah, no, Deathloop, Arcane in France, yeah, they haven't released anything. Obviously, there was the Arcane team that worked on Redfall that released, but that's a different team.
Yeah, but that was Arcane Austin.
Yeah.
The Arcane Lyon, they're supposed to be working on Blade, aren't they?
They are working on Blade, yeah, that's correct.
And that'll be multi-platform anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if they took it away from Xbox, how bitter things sound with them, to be fair. Anyway, moving on. We are also making reductions across other units and in some cases, shifting investment to focus on higher priority projects. These changes vary in size across Activision, Bethesda / ZeniMax, Blizzard, King, Mojang, and Xbox Game Studios. None of our first-party publicly announced games or projects are being cancelled as part of these reductions. Fair play to that. In addition, Mojang and King will now report directly to me. I thought this was really interesting.
Yeah.
Don't forget, she obviously she's mobile. She used to be Facebook, didn't she?
Meta AI.
Yeah, Meta. Mojang and King are Mojang and King. King are like big in the mobile space.
Huge.
Minecraft, I think, is pretty big on mobile as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, these two studios have increasingly become platforms and are our largest bi-monthly active players.
Sharp.
They bring critical geographic, demographic, and differentiation to Xbox. Second, we will reset our platform. We know that great technology gets better when, by the way, it kind of makes me cringe, but it's also kind of reads quite poetically. Anyway, we know that, or it's like written and punctuated like that. We know that great technology gets better when it gets simpler, not bigger. Today, in some parts of the company, work passes through as many as 14 layers of management, and that's mental. And by the way, that's a problem that we have over here in the UK with our local governments and the NHS. Our platform teams are 40% larger than they were at the start of this generation, even as our player base and playtime have declined. There you are. You have it here in writing that the play base has declined since last gen. That's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow. That complexity has slowed decisions, blurred accountability, and made it harder to deliver for players. As we reset Xbox, we will simplify. I will say this about accountability. It's actually a thing. 'Cause no one really wants to be the person. It's one of those things. Success has many fathers and failure is a bastard. And no one wants to be the person to be the one that does that new thing that could have fixed things for them. They just want to do, yeah. Anyway, yeah. We will reduce management layers to no more than 5, and where possible 3. We will deliver success through a flatter organisation that is built around makers, individual contributors focused on building, player coaches, leaders who remain deeply involved in the work developing their teams, and directly responsible individuals who own key decisions and outcomes. And we will streamline how we work across our tools with a cleaner code base, shared services, and 50% reduced vendor spend. Third, we are resetting how we operate. As Xbox grew our headcount, we became more fragmented. Teams, studios, and functions often operate independently, and it became harder to work towards a shared goal, make the right trade-offs, and get things done. I think Microsoft as a whole has this problem because they are so fucking massive. It takes them a million years to do everything. They get halfway trying to do something, and then Microsoft changes strategy. Anyway,
Yeah.
and I think that's never been more apparent than Xbox over the past 10 years or something. For the first time, we're establishing a chief operating officer with end-to-end P&L responsibilities across content, hardware, platform, and services. Helen Chang, I've never heard of this person, by the way, but Helen Chang has been promoted to this role and will report directly to me. Over nearly 2 decades at Xbox, Helen has helped build some of our most important businesses, from Xbox Live to leading Mojang and the Minecraft franchise. She will bring our business together under one operating model, making sure we can clear investment decisions, learn from our successes and failures, and hold ourselves accountable for results. Thank you, Dave McCarthy, who is retiring after 17 years of Xbox. Dave has played a defining role in building the platform that millions of players rely on every day and has been a trusted partner through many of the biggest moments in Xbox's history. We wish him all the best. These changes are about a bigger future for Xbox, not a smaller one. The next decade of gaming will be larger, more global, and more creative than anything we've seen before. This year, we'll invest as much in Xbox as we ever have, but we'll invest with greater focus, greater discipline, and greater clarity, all in service of making Xbox where the world plays and creates. I want Xbox to be one of the few companies that entertains more than 1 billion people each day and gives everyone the opportunity to create and connect. I know we can achieve this goal. Xbox has many of the most beloved franchises in entertainment history, talented studios around the world, and we will return to growth in 2027. History is full of companies that mistake longevity for inevitability. We will not be one of them. Asher. What do you make of that? Because I've kind of given my thoughts throughout that. If you want me to go back to bits, let me know, because obviously it's a bit wordy.
No, one part that literally screams multi-platform is the part there where they talk about, I want Xbox to be one of a few companies that entertain more than 1 billion people each day, and that opportunity to create, that section, that last paragraph there, that screams multi-platform. You're not going to reach billions of people on Xbox.
To be fair, mate, you're not gonna reach billions of people on console. I actually think that refers more to
PC, mobile.
Yeah. I mean, I think even on PC gaming, unless you're making desktop games, you're going to struggle to get to your billions because they cut their compared to all your streaming. You're not going to reach your billions. And to be fair, I still don't think streaming's there in the 2027. I mean, and plus, I think that's where they've got the biggest room for growth is in the mobile area.
Probably, yeah.
The fact that to me, the fact she highlights Mojang, which is Minecraft, obviously, and King as things that she's going to have direct. They're going to report directly to her. Says to me, they're going the mobile route.
To what extent, though?
They're going to invest more heavily in mobile and getting more of their games playable on mobile systems.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. If I'm wrong, you're definitely right.
No, I think we're both correct. That's the thing. I just think, are they going to make spin-offs of these things? Or is it going to be a case where they're going to focus on cloud streaming to get these things running fine on mobiles and stuff like that?
But the guy, what's his name? Matthew Ball, he did say something about, no better time now than to get people on the cloud. It's the thing is about cloud is if you want to get people on the cloud, it needs to be those mobile-y type games that people, I don't know, yeah.
Like brain rot games.
I mean, either that, or just because cloud is just never going to be the ideal
Route.
The ideal means.
Yeah,
you know
no.
what? The cloud screams to me students like who maybe don't have much money, younger people maybe who aren't turning over a salary, and stuff like that.
Absolutely. It is nice to know that they are continuing to fund Senua and State of Decay. Like that they're going to help fund that until they release, even though they're no longer apart. That's nice to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I thought that about all of those games. All of the games are going to release, and I think that's good. And to be fair, in terms of like what's happening to those studios and those studios leaving, it's probably the best you could have hoped for. And I think you were right in that assessment. And you know, on that in terms of those studios. Undead Labs apparently now has no obligation to release on Game Pass on day one, so they should see increased sales, even if I think they'll see less players.
Overall, they'll see more revenue, more gross profit,
revenue because of that.
I'm not sure. Was this part? I'm not sure if this is another news cycle part or if this was in the document because it was so long, but. Bethesda will be overhauled, as a part of today. Xbox changes to focus on their key franchises too. Did we talk about that? Was that did she mention that in the thing? I don't think she did she?
I don't think so. What's that?
So Xbox is changing a complete overhaul over at Bethesda. They're looking to make focuses on something which, bear in mind, something that should have been done when that company was first purchased by or that developer was first purchased by Xbox. They're going to focus more on releasing Fallout games, Elder Scroll games, Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein. So we will get more frequently. So it's crazy is that they start with Fallout and Elder Scrolls. You will get a new Fallout game before you get Fallout 6 or Fallout 5. Sorry.
Yes.
And it won't be by Bethesda.
Might well be part of making that happen, by the way.
And also, people were worried that they were one of the people that were in negotiations to be disbanded, but they were not mentioned at all. So I guess they're safe. And the way that they probably are safe is because they're going to make a Fallout game. That's what I think.
And Elder Scrolls games. To be fair, I think they're going to make spin-offs of those franchises.
Absolutely, yeah.
And even potentially Starfield, to be fair.
Leave that alone for a while, Jesus. I don't want to hear Starfield for a while. I just want something Elder Scrolls and something Fallout now. That's all. And this is like, I know it's me, but this is actually a positive. And I know that I commented on something that you said before, or I said something and you commented, where I want to miss something. Yes, that's true. But I'd also like something a bit more frequent. I don't want to have to wait, 15 years?
Two console generations for a new fucking Elder Scrolls.
Yeah,
so 2 whole ones will pass because it's
11, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's going to happen because, as something that's been reported recently, by the way, that we reported on months ago, is the Microsoft's disc to digital thing that they're doing that we brought up, by passing comment months ago. It's exciting to see, but we'll get to that when we talk about PlayStation. But what is your opinion? Out of all, besides an Elder Scrolls 6, what is something that you want to see out of the other IPs like Quake, Wolfenstein, Fallout? Would you rather see...
I want to see a Doom-style Quake.
Okay. Yeah.
The new Doom games with Quake. I preferred Quake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd love to see something like that. I don't. I would also like to see the Wolfenstein franchise.
I mean, that Wolfenstein 3 is being worked on. That I do know.
Fair.
That is something I 100% do know.
And I would like to see more shit done with that. I think Wolfenstein's a sick game.
Yeah, obviously they had what was that, the Young Bloods or something like that. It wasn't that great, but. Yeah.
Youngblood was not good. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's it's tough. It is tough seeing what we're about to see, like what we're seeing, but no studio closures. Do you know the meltdown would have been on the internet if Double Fine was closed?
What?
If Double Fine was closed, do you know how bad that would have been?
Yeah, I know they're a beloved studio. I personally didn't really enjoy their games, but appreciate that everyone loved them.
Yeah. Apparently, Wall Street Journal says Game Pass has about 30 million subscribers currently. That is 70%.
It was at about 35.
Yeah, so they lost. Yeah, they did. They lost a lot over the price increase, but that shows where Phil and Sarah wanted. They are 70% behind where they wanted to be. They wanted 100 million subscribers, and obviously that has not come to fruition. But yeah,
Phil and Sarah kind of fucked it.
Yeah, but it's nice to also see that the VP of Mojang Minecraft is now the Xbox COO in Helen Chen. So
yes and no. I mean, I'm actually quite pissed with Mojang over the years. I don't know if you remember, but basically all those fancy. Do you remember the fancy graphics and then the
4K pack?
Yeah, the super duper 4K graphics packs, like the fancy graphics, and then the ray tracing, which still hasn't released. Like,
yeah,
that I'm pissed off at Mojang for that, and Xbox. Cause why even show it off? Why announce it and then just they didn't even cancel it. They just pretended it. They never said it.
Yeah, I remember that. Like that was such a long time ago. But
yeah. I mean, I first heard about that in 2017, and then obviously the ray tracing one in that was around the of the Xbox Series X. Just nothing, and I think I know what it's to do with. I think they ended up getting parity clauses in their agreements. I think.
Okay, so. One thing as well, that was also in the document, which I am happy to know, is any game that has not been announced is not being cancelled. No projects are being cancelled. Anything that's like yet to be revealed is still in full production, which is nice to see right now. Like they didn't do what they did with Project Blackbird, that MMO that ZeniMax was working on, where they were like, "Oh, that's good," and then they cancel it. So it's good to see that the games that are yet to be shown off are still there. But I'll say it again, I'll fucking say it again. I swear to God, if you end next year's showcase with Call of Duty, I swear to God, it needs to not be the final game next year. Absolutely not. But let's talk about the biggest elephant in the room that has yet to comment 5 days since releasing the statement, shall we? And PlayStation.
Honestly, I actually think they're genius for not commenting.
They
never comment. They never comment and look at where they are now.
Yeah,
like they comment on stuff. They just put out they're like, we're doing this. Fuck you. And yeah. Anyway, let's go and tell us what it is first before I fucking go on around.
PlayStation goes discless. As the 1st of July, PlayStation released. They're released on all the blog as they usually do because they can't be arsed doing anything else. And it goes a bit like this. Bear in mind, this blog post has 8,500 replies. Do you know how many comments are usually on a PlayStation blog post?
How many?
Maybe 10.
Right.
This blog post alone has accumulated more than it has the entire last 2 years, I'd say. Physical disc. I did it again. I almost said dicks. Physical disc production ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on the PlayStation console. God, as the consumer preferences and the broader entertainment industry continues to shift away from physical discs to digital, physical game disc production for all new games releasing on the PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting from January 2028. Following this date, games will be available on the PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This transition has no impact on games that are already released, or will it be releasing prior to January 2008 in disc format. This is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to the consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. The transition will enable us to align more closely to how most of our community prefers to access and play the games today. We'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovation in how players can access games and provide choices as where players prefer to purchase new games. Whether at retailers or on the PlayStation Store, we remain committed to delivering a world-class gaming experience to our fans, and we thank you for your continued support.
My first comment to this is, apart from I knew it was coming, having been told by publishers, it is not surprising. However, the kind of "we're going to do this, fuck you" thing is only worse. Is only worse now because Xbox is so terrible at competing. I mean, that's all I have to say on that. Like, as you were.
Right. Well, for me, I think it's just a load of shit. Being honest with you, the fact that they're also closing down the PlayStation 3 and the PS Vita store is also just a shambles. I haven't seen PlayStation get this much blowback since probably the PS3. PS3 time was the last time I probably saw this, during the great hack of when was it, 2011, 2010, something like that. But yeah. The fact that they've yet to comment, PlayStation, the facts that there is, not all of them, by the way, there are actually some big major profiling people on the PlayStation side who are against this and are trying to get comments off it. But the fact that there are people that are justifying this move is fucking delusional. You are stripping away a choice from your consumer. That is not consumer friendly. As we spoke about at the start of the podcast, I bought Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, a game that came out more than 15 years ago. Yeah. A game that came out over 15 years ago, or roughly thereabouts. Either 11 or 15, either one. I bought for €8 physical. I went onto the PlayStation Store. That game is €70 full price. Why should I have to wait for a sale for the game that mightn't even hit that price at all, by the way? These are games that release annually. And bear in mind, every single Call of Duty, by the way, is still at full price. And I know that's owned by Microsoft. And that's still not the point. The fact is, if you look on if you go into like CEX from that, you can get games for like 40 quid cheaper, all right, than you can on the digital storefront. And they're saying that they're replacing discs with codes. What's that going to do? It kind of has me a little bit worried when it comes to their collector's editions of PlayStation games going forward. And also, do you know what's even the funniest thing ever? Do you know what's the funniest thing ever is?
What?
The Naughty Dog game, Intergalactic. In that trailer that we see the character have physical discs in that, like a physical disc collection in that game.
Ironic.
And like, alienating your consumer to just digital. And it's like, oh, you can still buy the disc. What's in the disc box? Nothing. You can buy the box, no disc. They definitely gave GTA a heads up.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I don't think there will be.
I mean, to be fair, Sony spent a lot of money with acquiring stuff for and marketing rights and support for GTA, so they definitely would have got it under NDA.
Absolutely, but like, bro, we still get vinyl records to this day. Like, we still get CDs to this day.
Let me tell you. So I have a take on this which is similar but different to yours.
Okay, go on, hit me with it.
I broadly agree with you that I think it's really shitty that physical things are going away. Having said that, I think physical has been dead for longer than everyone is complaining about this with PlayStation, because for longer than I can't think of a metaphor for it, but basically for a long time now, those games have not had anything on them other than a license code, which is booted up. Yes, you presented the pre-owned market is a thing, but the pre-owned market can exist with digital, just not in its current form. But they don't want the pre-owned market. That we need to have, if we're going to move towards digital, and let's face it, mate, like, too many people want it. Too many people want it for it not to be the main thing. I'm not saying they shouldn't have. It'd be lovely to have disk drives and things on discs and stuff, but I think we need to look harder. Even if that wasn't the case, even if PlayStation weren't doing this, I think we need to focus more on actual digital ownership and not having just a license, because a license is a long-term lease.
I mean, yeah, but it's saying digital and ownership in the same thing is just, it's non-existent. You don't own anything digitally.
Well, I mean,
on PlayStation.
You can have, yeah, well, no, you don't. You don't on in games and music. You don't. It's all licensed. Like, even think about this, right? What's that Walt Disney franchise? Winnie the Pooh is now owned by no one.
Yeah, because it's a license, and then like it's licensed right now.
Mm-hmm. This is what will happen to your games, like, because they are licenses. They can go at any point. I mean, go and read the small print on the licensing agreement. I wonder how long it lasts for. Or, you know, what you want is digital content that can be played as long as you've got hardware that can run it, and isn't locked behind being available because of your account and license user agreement. It's just it's shocking. And it's been like this a long time. This is just like the final step towards a completely digital future. To be quite frank, I don't think actually a great deal is changing in terms of, because you've never owned the discs really, other than you actually had the license code on a disc. But if those licenses go at any point, you can't use that game.
You say that, but say for instance, PlayStation have another. Bear in mind, PlayStation security is a joke, as we found out in numerous reports in the last few months of them people easily able to access your account and get your account banned, and you were not able to play online or anything like that, and they will play shovelware games on your accounts, things like this.
Yes.
That
was Colin Moriarty, but it happened to
happens to a lot of people. It's just that he's the highest profile of it. But the fact that I can't, like, there is a website up, and it's like, I think it's called like Will It Run Discs or Will It Play Discs, something like that. It's like a PlayStation thing. 93 or 94% of games will run on your PlayStation physically. Guess how many of them will run digitally if there's ever an issue with your internet, or if there's a servers are down for PlayStation? Zero.
Yep.
And what's everyone going to do then? Like, how like, obviously we're in the know, we're very informed, we keep up to date. I don't think there's a lot of people that know that GTA is going to be digital only.
No, not normies.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the hardcore gaming people who and core gamers and stuff will know, obviously, but you know, No, normies won't. Like,
Yeah, like this type of thing. Like as I said, like maybe with the digital code, the retailer can still have that price thing. Like when it comes to finding it being cheaper to buy it at a retailer. Like if you're still giving,
that'll be fine.
like as long as you're still giving me the option.
They can't get rid of that because it's so the way these work is the retailer gets a cut, like a 70-30 split or something, let's say.
Yeah,
And they it's against the law to not, they can promote whenever they want out of their own margin, and the publisher is not allowed to stop them legally. It's like the price fixing laws and stuff like that. It's one of the things we have to thank Europe for, to be honest with you.
absolutely. But it's the fact that I'm worried for physical media as a whole now, because Sony owns the distribution of all Blu-rays, so we will see the end of CDs, 4K and Blu-ray DVDs. Like the times of you owning things are gone. They're a thing of the past, which is very, very disappointing. I don't know how you feel about that when it comes to not owning your stuff. Like, bear in mind, will there be games where I'd rather buy it full price and then maybe 5-6 years down the line buy a physical copy that's like 10% of what the price originally was, so I'll pick it up for a tenner, That's fine.
I think that people are not going to like this because they don't understand it, but the solution is blockchain. Blockchain provides you the capability to have digital ownership. I'm not talking about NFTs, by the way, guys, in games, and like owning an authentic piece of skin or something like that, or even blockchain games in terms of a game on the blockchain. Like, it's more of a, and it's about it's basically crypto bros and stuff like that. It's nothing like that. I mean, the technology whereby the data is encrypted and minted onto the blockchain, and people buy a digital token to launch their game, and then the token can then be resold on the open market if they want to resell it, and people can buy it. Like you would on eBay, basically.
Yeah, like the end of an era. Like, do you ever remember going to a midnight launch for a game, getting your physical disc?
All the time. I loved it.
Like, we'll never ever have that again. Maybe a console will be the only time, but PS6, which by the way, kind of low key confirms it's going to be released before 2028 or around 2028.
We said that in our last show, didn't we?
Yeah. But here we are, getting confirmation, basically.
By 2028, yeah.
Yeah. And as we're aware, Helix mightn't be the same now. Might be there. Well, Xbox is something we report on. Will be doing something disc to digital. PlayStation might try and do that. What I don't understand is, and you probably don't have the answer for me for this, because it's like, how can I play my PS4 and my PS5 physical games on my PS6?
You can't.
Exactly. Like
the digital thing is good for people on Xbox like that. Only if it maintains the license key on the disc.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what you're doing, you'll take the license key away from the disc onto your account, and you're effectively left with the flaccid penis of a disc.
Exactly. But like, it's going to be difficult to see what way they're going to implement something to make it better for us physical media. And bear in mind, I have a small
the whole license key thing, and I say this as someone who distributes license keys, but it needs to go. It's the most anti-consumer thing, and if we don't have the actual physical side of it too, at least, then it makes it really, really terrible for us. And I think there's going to be, lawsuits will come out from this. I think there's going to be lawsuits.
There already is lawsuits with the PlayStation storefront at the moment. So
yeah, I think there's going to be bigger class actions and stuff. Anyway, but yeah.
Do you want to hit us up with the next topic about PlayStation again when it comes to their physical discs as well as UI on the console?
Yeah, so the PlayStation 5 operating system has begun systematically wiping and removing playtime from local profiles specifically for physical disc-based games. Disappointed players are framing the UI change as a highly aggressive psychological push by Sony to devalue physical ownership by decoupling total time spent from a physical license. Critics argue the publisher is subtly pushing the narrative that a borrowed, rented, or resold disc doesn't truly belong to the active player's permanent identity ecosystem. It's disgusting. This is what's truly heinous about it, is that doing this, they're trying to force this. They're trying to force you into it before it goes away to minimize their losses.
Yep. And from what I can see, Nintendo is the best place to go right now for physical media.
Even then, they are not releasing physical day one, mainly due to prices. To be honest with you, the cartridge prices and things like that, and margins and stuff. But things keep going like that. You better believe Nintendo aren't going to be doing it. But yeah, I was speaking to one of my friends at a studio. He's not a developer, and he said, yeah, Nintendo are our last beacons of hope in this area.
Yeah. But yeah, again, it's disappointing, but it only gets worse for PlayStation with the next news report, where after another discussion, Sony are actually discussing on potentially increasing the prices of PlayStation Plus. Already, again, news that came out after this information on the digital game front, by the way. Before we get into that, do PlayStation make a comment by the next podcast?
No, I don't think they will.
Really?
Yeah, really, because they don't have to.
They do have to. There needs to be transparency to their fan base. Who
are they competing against, mate? They don't have to, because people are going to go to them anyway.
No, they're not. People will. If you're going to pay the amount of people that will go from PlayStation to PC, like PC players, even though it's an all digital thing, if you're like, what's the point of me having a digital PS5 or digital PS6 when I can be treated?
I disagree with you, but they won't. I think Sony have got too much mind share for people, because people will want to play their game. People are invested in it. I don't know. I maybe you're right, but I don't think so. I think most people who are, unless they're sort of new people who can't afford PCs yet, like kids and stuff, I think most people who are going to migrate to PC instead have already done so by now.
No, there will be. There will be way more. I can guarantee you that.
We'll see, but I mean, don't forget how Microsoft pulled one out the bag with the Xbox 360, even though it was they got, I don't know, and then the PS3 came around and it was just, Sony just were cocky, and this is what's happening. We're getting to cocky Sony again.
Yeah, and that also kind of is so let's just put it this way, okay? In the statements read, yeah, Sony say that they're looking at their data, basically.
Yeah.
Do you know who else looked at data in 2012? Xbox did. Oh, I see that our user base is using Netflix a lot and watching TV a lot. So let's
mention that, yeah. And
guess what's going to happen? What happened to the entire thing? It killed the entire Xbox brand. Yeah. No matter what you say, and what's even the best part about this entire thing is people are reverting back to it. Remember that fucking video of of that video of the how to trade games, basically, where they pass the game over and they're like, this is how you trade games on PlayStation. Guess what, everyone? That's not something you can do anymore. Xbox did this. It basically killed the entire brand. Xbox never, ever, ever, ever recovered from that. Never recovered. And now PlayStation it's going to happen to the exact same thing. And by the way, and there was a petition made 18 hours ago for save physical discs. That is almost now at 200,000 signatures in less than 24 hours. So that'll probably get a lot higher over the next upcoming weeks. And
I imagine so, yeah.
But the fact that that is what I mean by we're in a time now where gaming is a luxury that is very, very hard to afford to be in if you haven't bought in already. Price hikes on every console. Consoles are now 200 to 300 euro more expensive than when they were at the start of the generation.
Yeah.
No one is going to want to buy a PlayStation 6 or the Helix at 1,000 if they can't have digital, or if it's only digital. I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. And as far as where Sony doesn't want to take significant cuts when it comes to the PS6, they'll take a small cut, not significant. Do you see any of these consoles releasing at $999 or higher?
$199, you mean?
$999, yeah, that's something like $999.
Yeah. I think they're going to be higher. I think they're going to be on par or more expensive than the Steam Deck.
Steam Machine. Oh man, it's tough. It's tough. I do believe they will comment. You say they won't, and that is something that we will get to in the next.
They probably will comment at some point in the future, but I just don't think it's going to be
next week.
Soon. Yeah.
I want to continue trashing on PlayStation, so I'm going to go to the next topic before we talk about that, and then we've got our tidbits. So, yeah, Marvel Tōkon Fighting Souls is blocked in 123 countries. We're not going to mention all the 122 countries, but there's a lot, and there's a lot of significant ones like the Philippines, Cuba, Ivory Coast, Fiji, like Georgia, like there's North Macedonia, Pakistan, Jamaica, so many. They've done it again. They've stepped on the foot, and they already alienated people again to play their game. So they're making it hard for Fighting Souls to.
What do you mean? Are they blocking the countries so they won't activate in these countries, or are they just not supporting those currencies?
PlayStation, PlayStation just doesn't allow games to be played in those regions through their accounts.
So if you bought on PC, because it says on PC, those games, and you were in, let's say, Kazakhstan, and you wanted to buy the game on Steam, you would not be able to buy it.
Correct.
And activate it, or is it just a case you'd have to pay the full US dollar price?
No, what the problem is you need a PlayStation account to play the game, firstly. Okay. And this is bring back to Helldivers 2. So Helldivers 2 sold 20 odd million copies. And once they did that, PlayStation thought it'd be a good idea to say, from now on, you need to have a PlayStation account to play this. But certain countries are region locked through the PlayStation system, where when you go onto it and say this game is not available in your country, that's what it says. So even though before that you bought it, you could play it through Steam, but when you have to now link your PlayStation account, you can no longer play it.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what's happening now with Tōkon. Where people are going onto Steam and stuff like that, and they say, it is not available in your...
It's either that, or can PlayStation actually own or have significant investment in a digital code distribution platform, and this is the area I work in, man, and all of these countries, if you support it, it could well be the PSN doesn't activate in those, or PlayStation. It could well be that, but what thought crossed my mind initially was these are all the countries whereby they shoot out and you'd end up with grey keys.
As in piracy?
Grey keys, as in people would take global keys and arbitrage them, report them as being sold in these types of regions, which are very weak against the dollar, pound, and euro, and then resell them back into euro, dollar, and pound territories. So it's basically the arbitraging by distributors or retailers and things like that. I'll go into the whole grey thing on another thing when we've got more time if you're interested in it. But basically, these are also super cheap regions. Like the amount of times I've seen and I've looked at a publisher's royalty report when they're like, "Why there's so many cheap keys out there," and they've somehow managed to sell like 2 million units in Kazakhstan, in Kazakhstani tenge, which is like, which is worth like $5 for a $50 game, and it's like, that's how you're getting paid 30% of, or sorry, 70% of $5. And your key, and that's why your keys are out there really cheap.
But yeah, no, it's
probably the PSN requirements. I have to admit, it probably is that. But when I first read it, I thought it was to do with the arbitraging that you see on Steam, and they will know about it because they've got stakes in companies that do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I believe you're correct. As someone who is in the distribution company, I would believe you when it comes to these type of things. So, but yeah, like it is. I think more light will be shed on it. I know that Tōkon have said that they're investigating this to see why, and they see if they can revert something. So we'll have more news at a later stage. Another PlayStation news is there's a Ghost of Tsushima anime releasing in Crunchyroll in 2007. No trailer or anything, just a poster. Looks pretty cool. Then we've got some other teeny tiny bits to clear up for this week's news. So we've got a news that we actually reported either last week or the week before, where Onimusha Way of the Sword has actually been moved up from September 25th to September 4th. It's a news so the rumors were true, that did actually get pushed up. Another thing is that according to Epic Games database, multiple DLC and story expansions passes have been added to Final Fantasy VII Revelations. So there's probably going to be a digital deluxe and things like that. And then one final thing for this week in the gaming news is Resonance, A Plague's Tale Legacy has officially gone gold and will be releasing on August 27th. Let's just see here. Yeah, so... And Jason Schreier, 18 minutes ago, says that studios and Bethesda organizations like ID Software and ZeniMax Online Studios are not shutting down, but are cutting a significant number of staff this morning, per sources. So that's that. So, yeah. I guess that is this week's news. Very heavy on the PlayStation and Xbox side. Happy to see that no studio closures, but a lot of people have laid off, and I really sympathize for people affected. Hopefully they can get back up on their feet and get some new jobs elsewhere soon. I know it's a tough time for many people across the board, but this has been this week's podcast of the Gamer Chat podcast. Joe, if people want to find you, where can they get in contact with you?
So you can find me on here on the Gamer Chat podcast, also on platforms as Mopish Lawyer, and on my online on my distribution company, 3 Gaming Pillars. Thanks for having me on, man. It's been good chatting, but depressing topics.
Oh, always, man. Hopefully we'll have lots of information come next week on other things, but yeah, it's a sad time. Hopefully we get more information on positive things coming soon, but this is just a dark time in the gaming space. Hopefully it won't get much darker, but hopefully we'll get a response from Sony on the impossible changes that they've made. But yeah, thank you everyone for listening. I'd like to play some games now. Probably won't. Got to do adult stuff. I'm so fucking tired, man. I'm tired. Like, this week has been a whirlwind with news.
I just realised I've not had anything to drink today this whole day. That's why I quickly nipped out just then. Yeah, not drunk anything today at all. Any water apart from like a cup of tea.
Oh yeah. But
So I
yeah.
started feeling a little bit. Yeah.
But take care, everyone. Enjoy this week's episode. Let us know what your thoughts are on the whole situation. Are you as annoyed as we are? We'd love to hear what you think, and we shall see in next week's video. Take
Also,
care.
who's going to win the World Cup? See ya.
Not England. That's what I'm saying.